on. Kevin can have a sign up. And then Bruce. And if there's anybody that would like to pop up here and come and have a chat with us all, please feel free. Okay.
Thank you so much for such a nice turnout. Wasn't expecting so many, especially with circumstances. Okay, I'll put some words down here. I'm never good at speaking, so I wrote it down just to try and think of the thing. Margaret Evelyn Koll. I should say Margie. Margaret without the gritty bit. But we all knew she had a lot of grit and a whole lot of grace, and she always managed to put a smile on my face. It was the little things that filled me with joy and happiness, from the compulsion of a bear hug for every time visiting, leaving, or just because. How she would, when we were kids, sometimes make something to eat that would make food resemble a smiley face or something like interesting, like an aeroplane or whatever. And it's usually somehow turned my frown upside down and was having a bad day. I remember clearly about 2-3 years ago, in my 40s, I came past, popping to visit Mom, had a really terrible day, which was just lots of things going on. And she said to me, "You look hungry." I said, "Mom, you check your glasses prescription." "I'm good." She said, anyway, went out there, sorting a little office there. A couple of minutes later, a few minutes later, she brings out this plate of bangers and mash with a big smiley face. And I looked at her with a big smile. She wrapped her arms around me and said, "You will always be my little boy. I'm the mama. Gotta love me." What I do for those bear hugs right now. Love you, Mom. Always and forever. Thank you.
I really enjoy all being here. It's such a surprise, a lot of faces that I haven't seen for a long time and everything like that. It really touches my heart. Thank you very much. I just got to say thank you, Margie. I met Margie when she was 16. Her twin brother was my rival enemy. When I rode a bicycle, I had to be the fastest. Then we got motorbikes. I had the fastest motorbike, he would modify his motorbike, then I'd have to modify mine, and we were arch enemies and everything. And he got hit by a car, and the handlebars went through his stomach. And I just thought, the right thing to do is to go and see him in hospital, and just sort of see how he is. You know, I wish he had got taken out or something, but what? Then, and when I got there was this little chick there. Really a nice looking little woman. And I went to go and say hello to her, and she hid behind her father. No, she's very shy. So I said, "Who's that chick?" He said, "That's my twin sister." And then, yeah, it took me 2 or 3 years to get Margie to get on a date with me. Because first of all, she was only obsessed with dieting and dancing. Because Margie at 15 was dancing for Pat in South Africa. So she was always on diet, always being there. And then her mother also kept boys away from her because she was worried about Margie. So Bruce is quite a cunning old father. He decided to chop his mother. And after really being nice to the mother for about 2 years or so, I was allowed to start taking Margie out. And that's how we did. And, you know, it was quite fun. Then my parents, my old man had a heart attack and everything like that. He lost his pilot's license. And he was looking for something else to do, so he bought a yacht in Durban. Hence, they moved down to Durban. Then Margie's mother and father decided they didn't want to live in Durban. anymore, so they moved to Durban. So Bruce got the job of moving into. Margie and Lawrence inherited the house. I had to move into the house with them, and that was how it all started. So we all, three of us lived together. Lawrence was worse than anything else. He never knew when to come home. He couldn't come home if he wasn't drunk, and then when he came home at 2 o'clock in the morning, he'd eat all our food. Eventually we decided it's enough of this shit. So we decided, no, we're going to get married. So we planned the whole wedding and everything, and because the parents were all down here, Margie and I we lived up there and we got married in Durban, at a Union Bogan Treaty. I've got to say, we met such nice people at our wedding and everything like that there. And then also at the same time, I was working on the campus myself, and then the whole arms embargo started, so I was virtually out of a job. So we decided, no, we moved down to Durban as well. And that's the thing there. And I've just got to say to you, whatever we did, Margie was always behind it. You know, I would come home and this and that, and Margie was helping. Margie also got a fantastic job when she moved down. Margie was HR manager, but it took us to set there. I don't know how she winged it and got that job, but she did very well at it. But yeah, so that's how we came to move down here, and Margie and I got married and then came to live down here. Yeah, that goes on there. And then after we married in 4 or 5 years, my mother, Margie's mother, my sister, all of them, when are you going to have kids? You know, you need to have children. And Margie's turned around and said to Edward, what do you think I am? I'm not a mother cow or human incubator. I'm not going to have children. You know? And then after pressure for about 3 or 4 years, Arthur, Michelle, met them, and then Margie said, maybe we can have a kid. So yeah, then came along Kevin. When Kevin was born, I thought, how the hell is Margie going to look after this child? She doesn't want children, she doesn't want to be a mother cow, she doesn't really need money. And something else popped up when they turned there. From that day on, Margie became everybody's mother. I'm sure you could also let Margie's mother, every one of you. And people, she just changed and became such a people's person. Then Glennie came along, same thing. Then she was always doing something with the kids and that sort of stuff. Kevin joined the Cubs. What did Mommy have to do? Mommy joined the Cubs. Mommy became car of the Cubs and that sort of stuff. So Mommy was a Cub too. Then Glennie started dancing. Margie started dancing with Glennis as well. And I've got to say, she supported us kids and myself every day. I had a very good job, everything like that, and I got pissed off at work one day. I got home, I said to Margie, I'm going to resign. She said, what do you want to do that for? I said, I've had enough of that place. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to start my own business. She looked at me and she said, if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. And look, that's what I put it. Margie backed me up with every single thing that I did. I've just got to say, I've been very fortunate to live with Margie for 55 years. And it was an absolute pleasure. You know, it's just very sad, but that's what life I think is. And also, I've got to tell you all, when Margie went over last year, we hadn't spent more than 5 days apart since we've been married. Then she went over to the Isle of Man there, and then it was extended, and she spent 5 months there. So it was a good thing. She was also so happy. And then, when Glennis wanted to finish her studies, Glennis phoned me and said, Dad, I need to borrow Margie again. I said, why? Well, I'm going to do this course, and I'm doing this course, and then I'm going to fly out to South Africa and sell up everything, and then go back. So I said, well, what sort of period are we talking about? She said, 6 months. I said, anyway, that's what you do for your kids, and that's what Margie wants to do. And if you all saw the pictures and everything like that, Margie went over there. Margie was so happy, it was unbelievable. Margie did things that she didn't do here. Margie liked to stay at home here, keep to herself and everything like that. There, she went to school, she met all the women at school like we did with our children. Went to the school, chatted with all the kids at the school there and everything like that. And Margie got involved in these little club groups and all that sort of stuff. So I think it was something that she really enjoyed doing there. And Kim, your friend lived 2 doors from her. Margie just decided to become friends with them as well. And so she was always going in visiting. I think she could get a free beer there or something. So she did. And that's the thing there. But all I've got to say to you all, I'm going to miss Margie terribly, and I was very fortunate to have such a beautiful wife. And you know what? I'm not going to have another one.
Tell us why.
Because it was 55 years of training wasted.
Right, I just have one more eulogy to read here. And dear Auntie Margie, although we could not be here today, with Glynis and her children, I send this message with love from Australia. From a young age, I must have been a beacon of love, warmth and compassion in my life, and looked after me as I was one of your own. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to spend valuable See, this is, I get married in this family, I get pushed around all the time. All right. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to spend valuable time with you last year in Isle of Man, where my son could meet and spend time with this wonderful woman that I call Bob. Auntie Margie had the extraordinary ability to make everyone feel welcome, special, and loved in her home. She was the lasagna queen, and the number of times I would have begged and pleaded for Thursday night lasagna was countless. She taught me the importance of kindness, value of hard work, and power of care. She was always cheering quietly from the sideline, offering a compassionate shoulder to cry on, and celebrate the small victories in life, no matter what came my way. Her strength in times of adversity inspired all her children, Kevin, Glynis, and me, to face life head-on with grace and determination. I remembered as a kid the number of adventures we experienced together was just priceless. The memories are still as vivid in my mind as it was from 40 years ago. Auntie Margie was the last selfish person I knew and would grow up and beyond to help anybody in need. Although Auntie Margie is no longer with us physically, her spirit lives on in the lessons she taught us and the love she shared. We will miss her gentle guidance and comforting, larger-than-life bare hearts and your unwavering support. Auntie Margie, may you finally get some rest. Your flag will fly high and proud. Now Flippy, Wilma, and PJ. Right. Anybody else would like to come up here?
Hello everyone, just everybody here nearby as we celebrate the life of Margie in Warner Beach, the Isle of Man and other parts of the world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lauren, a friend of Glynis's, and we'd like to call ourselves Soul Sisters. And I'm here to share some special words on behalf of Gilly. I'm going to have to hold my breath a little bit. You never said I'm leaving, you never said goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knew why. A million times I needed you, a million times I cried. If love alone could have saved you, you never would have died. In life I loved you dearly, in death I love you still. In my heart you hold a place that no one could ever fill. It broke my heart to lose you. But you didn't go alone, for a part of me went with you the day God took you home. Your death was sudden and merciful, but losing you has been the most hardest thing. Still, not sure how I'm going to navigate life without you. I'm going to start by continuing to share part of you with the world. My hugs might not be as giant as yours. My laugh not as contagious. My dancing not as natural because Kev got your rhythm. However, being a safe and warm and welcoming place, making time for people, listening, caring, kindness and thoughtfulness, cheerleading, checking in, cooking for an army, and showing up, I can do. Mommy, these are just a few of your qualities that made you such a special person. It is why so many people loved and cared for you, and it is also the reason we have so much love and support right now. Your memory is my keepsake, with which I'll never part. Though you are no longer here with me, you'll live forever in my heart. The lessons you taught, the love you gave, and the kindness you showed will guide me through each day. I promise to carry your life with me, honoring your spirit in all that I do. Today is a hard day as we say goodbye. I know you don't want us to cry and be sad. Please understand, your wings were ready, but our hearts were not. So we will have a few tears and moments of sadness, but we will also do our best to have a good time celebrating you, today and every day, while knowing that we have just gained one of the best angels. Thank you for being my mommy, for all that you were and all you did. Until we meet again, I love you more than tongue can tell. These are Glennie's beautiful words. And I just want to thank you all for being here today, celebrating a very, very special woman. And considering the gloomy weather that we have today, I just feel like it was a way of honoring Margie, because she was a sunshine in our lives. She really was the life of the party. Always, hello beautiful, how are you? And she was just the most welcoming, warm person. And I just, loved her so, so, so much. And I'm thinking of all the family, Glennie, as she celebrates her mom's life from afar. And I just pray that Margie's legacy lives on through you. Thank you.
Right.
Hi everyone. Some of you know me, unfortunately. I was the son that Bruce and Margie never wanted. They were always treating me like their own son. And seeing how Kevin turned out, I don't know where they went wrong with me. One thing I will remember about Margie is popping in to visit her, sharing a beer, sneaking off around the back to have a cigarette because she didn't want Bruce to know, but Bruce knew. She always motivated me. When I was young, Kevin and I used to DJ together, and I got the opportunity to DJ at a huge function in Joburg, a big rave. And I made a mixed CD, and I was walking around town selling mixed CDs, and I was 600 rand short for my travel, and Margie just gave it to me so I could go and live my dream. And I met people at that rave and ended up getting a job in the music industry in Joburg. At the end of that, I was actually working in a recording studio, my dream job. Unfortunately, Kieran and I also had a few bad habits, and my bad habits ended up me losing my dream job. So I came back to Durban, and I went into the internet business, and that's where I've been ever since. And still to this day, Bruce and Margie always motivated me, and whenever I just wanted to pop in and visit Margie, chat to her while she's gardening, and sneak off for a cigarette around the back. Don't tell Bruce. Bruce knew. A few months ago, YouTube recommended a video to me, and it was a poem. And the day Kevin phoned me to give me the news, that poem came straight to my head. So I want to read it to you guys. It's excuse my twitching, I have an anxiety disorder, so it's too many people. I'm trying. The poem's called If Tomorrow Starts Without Me by David M. Morano. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not there to see, the sun should rise and find your eyes or fall to tears for me. I wish so much you wouldn't cry the way you did today, while thinking of the many things we didn't get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you, and each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. But when tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand and said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I'd have to leave behind all those I dearly love. And as I turned to walk away, a tear fell from my eye. For all my life I always thought I didn't want to die. I had so much to live for, so much left yet to do. It seemed almost impossible that I was leaving you. I thought of all the yesterdays, the good ones and the bad. I thought of all the love we shared and all the fun we had. If I could relive yesterday, just even for a while, I'd say goodbye and kiss you and maybe see you smile. Then I realized that this could never be, for emptiness and memories would take the place of me. And when I thought of all these things I might miss come tomorrow, I thought of you, and when I did, my heart was filled with sorrow. And then I walked through heaven's gates. I felt so much at home. And God looked down and smiled at me from his great golden throne. He said, "This is eternity, and all I've promised you. Today your life on earth is past, but here life starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, but today will always last. And since each day's the same way, there's no longing for the past. You have been so faithful, so trusting and so true. But there were times you did some things you knew you shouldn't do. But you have been forgiven, and now at last you're free. So won't you come and take my hand and share your life with me? So when tomorrow starts without me, don't think we're far apart. For every time you think of me, I'm right here in your heart."
I don't want to make things formal, but if anybody else, wherever you are, wanted to say something about something you can relate with Margie or anything like that?
Can I just say that I met Margie with our children were at the same age, and we did clubs together. And we lived quite near each other, but I went back teaching. But whenever I saw her, it was like we never had been apart. We just were in the spirits, and I'm going to miss her.
No, she was very fond of that. But that was Margie. If you hadn't seen Margie for a while, when you got together, it was as though you had never been apart, and that sort of stuff. I've also got to say something about Margie. She never found anything bad in anybody, except in me when I was in school. But she had a real cause to that, because we were married for 49 years, and I always said we'd make her 50 years, but she needs a medal for that, not me. Anybody else?
I just think today's attendance speaks for itself, and the amount of people that came out to support the family, I think is amazing. And I was fortunate enough to support her mom.
Glenn, did you see some pictures of you there? Huh? Look how young you were there. You also had no kids there.
Kids is the
Glenn
problem.
was also the most fantastic person. After Glynis was born, or after Kevin was born, Margie had to go back to work. And Glynis looked after Kevin every single day for us. I still appreciate it. You did a good job of it, not me. Nobody else. Can we have another tune just for Margie's sake, please? And then
Thank you.